Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Monday, we're right back to the top of the workshop looking at the top performing map of the moment. And it's this one, it's a classy one made by a top creator and I think you're going to like what you see today. However, a few of you didn't like what you had to see last week. And yes, BonBon made boo-boos. BonBon has to apologise, and there is a pre-recorded segment at the start of today's show. It's a couple of minutes long. Please don't skip it. If you feel the need to, it is 2 minutes, but please don't skip it. And there will be a little bit more apology to tag on because I didn't want to spend 5 minutes at the start of the show, so there'll be a bit more during the flyover. So I'm going to hand it back over to a slightly younger me right about now. Let's start with an apology and a correction from episode 1408, which was Wednesday last week, where I reviewed ilos Southwest Desert Map by Eggsy, the map that's currently being used by Overcharged Egg over on their YouTube channel. Now, there were a couple of problems and the comments blew up and I need to address these. Unfortunately, there's a bit more to talk about than I can really squeeze in at the start of the show, so I'm going to continue talking a little bit over the opening flyover of today's map review. So stick around for that one, don't just disappear. But let's start off with relight settings. For relight settings, I reviewed the map using the wrong relight settings. These are my base relight settings, the ones that I use for every single map that doesn't actually have any relight settings because they work pretty much across the board. But it does make the map here look very bleached. This is what the map should have looked like. Much richer, much warmer, much nicer, and definitely I haven't done the map justice using the settings that I employed. Why didn't I use the actual ones? I didn't see them. They were there, but they were only on the image reel and they were past the first page, so it's not one that jumped off. I don't tend to look at the image reel because I'm going straight down to the map anyway. That I'm going to see these things firsthand, so I don't generally need to see those ones. So if you are going to include relight settings, and this is to everybody, in the image reel, at least make a point of mentioning it in the description so there is no excuse, or you can include them in the description as well. Now, there is a second point, and it's probably the bigger one, and we're going to cover that one in a little bit more detail once we start the flyover, so stay tuned for that. Right, back to older me, and of course there is a very interesting crossover between the ilos map and this map in that they are both desert maps, both very different. So if you don't like this map, you might like ilos, and if you don't like ilos, you might like this one if you're looking for a desert map. But one thing I really would like you to do is to get onto that like button, thank you. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is the Desert Valley by Sidai. Yes, Sidai is back with another Sidai classic map. And I think we can go with that description on today's map. Lots of quality to be seen. Start square looks very good to me. A good layout and plenty of space to get building into. Some interesting shapes in there too. Terrain heights feel realistic, ergonomic, and quite dramatic as well in places. Resources, there's ore in them, there are hills, and fertile land where you'd expect there to be fertile. Looks like a lot of fun to play. And fishing, if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, salmon and anchovies, please. A little bit of shellfish up there in the reservoirs. Off to the workshop, what do you need? Well, the ability to read BonBon. Oh, shush, leave myself alone, will you? We have a nicely written description as always, and a one-click collection to check, including some relight settings. Yes, I saw this. We have the relight settings in operation today. Oops. And then the one-click collection right here, which isn't too long at all. A few things to subscribe to. There's only one thing on here I'm not entirely sure about. We're using the Springwood map theme today and the Coastal LUT. Environment changer. I'm not really sure why we need it, but we have got the no controller and intersection marking tool in there for those of you that want those. If you don't have those, it doesn't matter. They just will not be actually on your map. Right, before we talk about the map, and I'll spend plenty of time talking about, but sorry, Sidai, I'm going to ignore your map for a couple of moments. The other apology I need to focus on from Eggsy's map is it wasn't a one-man map. In fact, it's one man and one woman map. Yeah, Coruña. I neglected to mention Coruña's work. Coruña is a great detailer, and without her detail on that map would have been just okay. And it was raised several levels by her work. Now, this was my bad. I know very much that Coruña was involved. In fact, I was messaging her just a few days before, and why I forgot to put a mention in for her. Now, in terms of the names on the screen, I only ever credit the host of the asset or the map, because I did screw up a while ago. So a while ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and I gave credit to some people who were literally just testers for the map. You get your name listed by a map if you've been just given permissions, and so yes, I've been crediting testers. So that's why people you don't see Eggsy and Coruña there. But I know full well that they would have wanted me to have mentioned Coruña, and through the lack of making a bullet point, it slipped me by, and I feel dumb. I genuinely feel dumb. Some great intersections, by the way. That's all we're looking at the moment. And I feel dumb. I do. Because the thing is, I know better. I know I should have mentioned her. And it was only when it was raised, I saw the comments going crazy, I realised, and see, for me, this is the bigger part of the apology than the start of the show. Because the relight settings, it's easy to miss. Again, I didn't put them in, so it's still my fault, but you can see why I would miss them. But not mentioning Coruña when I know better, that was literally down to missing a bullet point. And missing bullet points is something that I do quite regularly. No excuse there. Oh, we're liking this, Sidai. Yeah, a little welcome to the new housing estate. Placards, loving that. Yeah, good work. Nice. There's your start square. Plenty of buildable space in there as well. So yes, I don't know what to say. In terms of bullet points, if you saw the island, my let's play for last week, episode 8 of the island, there, nice there as well with the pillar placement. I had a bullet point for mentioning about cinematic videos that I really am kicking myself I didn't mention. Again, I only noticed it when I actually watched the live playover of the once it was all on YouTube, and like, too late now. Missing bullet points is something that I do occasionally. Sometimes I do it actually deliberately during a show because I go, actually, I don't really need that one. We covered it by doing something else. This, forgetting to mention Coruña, was a major faux pas. Hopefully you're enjoying the flyover while I'm waffling on about me being a complete schmuck, because I mean you are able to see that we've got good quality going on here. I mean, what am I going to say about plenty to talk about with this one. Still plenty to talk about. Heading down towards the edge of the map. We'll be switching over to the rail in a moment, for those of you that want to see the rail. We'll be coming back to this intersection a bit later on as well. No, not intersection. This little dam area. We'll be coming back to this a little bit later on. So anyway, not that I haven't said it several times in the comments, over on Discord and so forth, directly to you, Coruña, because I know that you were upset. And the fact that there was so much love for Coruña, so many comments supporting Coruña, that says so much about her as a person, that people are right behind her and are just watching out for her. One or two people messaged me directly going, are you okay? Because there was I mean, I would say hate wasn't the word, but there was a lot of criticism towards me last week, and yeah, I'm okay. The whole thing about being a grown-up is trying to learn, accepting when you made a mistake, apologising when you made a mistake, try to learn from it. You may make a mistake again, as long as you're not deliberately doing these things. I think faux pas, look, liking this as well, that's nice. Faux pas are a thing. Like, if I find a mistake on Sidai's map here, they wouldn't have been done deliberately. we can have a laugh about it because we know Sidai is better than that, and we can lose. And like it also, these two tunnels, like the way they cross over each other, actually underground. That's very neatly done. Oh, the rail here goes elevated through the start square. Not to my taste, like a desert map isn't to my taste. But there are plenty of assets that you can use with elevated railway stations. This would be a perfect opportunity for an elevated railway station on a map. So it just gives an opportunity. And if you want it at ground level, you can fix that. You're an experienced builder, aren't you? So yes, so officially from me, I have no excuses apart from I forgot to write down the bullet point, which is my problem. And therefore, I'm sorry. Genuinely, I am sorry. And all the critique and all the love for Coruña is well deserved because her detailing is exceptional. Exceptional. Want any detailing done? She might even be up there for commissions, I don't know. But she does great work with Eggsy. So yeah, Eggsy's map last week. Now, the one part of today's map that I'm not completely on board with, again, I can't fault it in any way, shape or form, is this. The double tier highway. We've got the rail following. It's perfectly, but I'll tell you, I'm throwing the word in, perfectly hideous. I hate every moment of this. I can't fault it. I can't fault it. It's exactly what Sidai was looking to achieve. Always down to personal taste. There's always things with personal taste. Also, look at the rock work here. This is easy to miss out. Look at that little rocky ledge there that I could have easily just skipped past. So when I say I hate everything about it, not everything. The rail branches off and continues up the valley while the highway there goes straight to the edge of the map. And then we have the rail heading up the valley this way. Yeah, I mean, just because it's not to my taste. I mean, I don't mark that maps down because they're not to my taste. But it's, yeah, I'm massively distracted by that. The work through, I don't know. Look at, oh, this is nice. Look at the water runoff. It's been allowed to run through underneath the rail there. So much exceptional work. So much exceptional work. Anyway, edge of the map, which means time for one little thing.
Fed up with vanilla or ploppable parking lots in your city? Wondering what Bonnie Day's Parking Lots Roads is all about? Then you need BonBonB's Parking Lots tutorial. Click the information button below.
Now back to the Desert Valley by Sidai, and we will talk about the map now, shall we? Shall we properly concentrate on the map? Yes, shipping routes. We've got one that dead ends along here that allows you to get ships along the coast there. And we've got another one that goes up through the entrance into the river system and over the tunnel. Nice. And dead ends up there at the inland harbour. I like that. That's very neat. Water flow. We have got just about enough water flow in a wide enough, deep enough river to just about make this workable on a vanilla base game style play. So yes, I would say that we've got something that will work here. Of course, it's a desert map, so you're probably going to have lots of water towers and stuff like that anyway. But yeah, I would say this is pleasing to see, and a nice looking river system too. Right, okay, we've got plenty of things to talk about. I mean, look at the shapes of the mountains. I'm loving that they're so dry. There's barely anything growing up on those at all. Then we've got all the green swirling around down by the river systems and down on the coast. And the shapes as well. This bit over here is sort of like Chinese inspired. I feel like a dragon, Chinese dragon or something going on there. And over here, I mean, this is almost like Greek. It's like a Greek god or something like that. There's the head, and here's his chest and his six-pack, his nipple. You can see that? He's holding on to something going on there. Maybe he's fighting it's a sea serpent. He's fighting a sea serpent on the left. Wow. Did you intend that, Sidai? I don't know. Let's have a look at some features. Now, this is the bit of the whole map that I'm sort of like most confused by. Loving it. Looks very nice. Great detailing again. Like the little oasis going on there. I don't really buy into the oasis at this location. I'll rocking and holding. Rocking and holding. Of course, rocking and holding. But yes, I don't buy into it at this location. I'll show you why. Okay, maybe there's a spring under there, but if we switch the lines of terrain on, this is an elevated plateau. How does the water get up there? I mean, maybe it just rains and it's a rain trap. Yeah, that'll be it. It's a rain trap. Yeah, it's the one part of the whole map that I just don't. Even forgetting about that that valley, the valley with the double tier highway. Nice intersection marking tool working on today's map as well. If you've got the mod, if you don't have the mod, don't worry, your map will still run. You just won't have all the pretty lines. So yes, and oh, perfect bridge, Sidai, perfect bridge, very beautiful, beautifully done. We've got this national road, and we're going to follow this, go for a little drive down to the coast along here, just for fun. This does link around again back, as you can see, because we have traffic on it, obviously. This links back around and helps to do a full loop without having all of the traffic running through the middle of your city. So there's always that. That's nice. And I'm loving these. We've got like the patches of deserts down here interplaying with the fertile land as well. Road and rail tunnels running through neatly together, very nicely done. I like that a lot as well. And of course I'm going to, of course, yeah. Well, even if this is your first ever Watts map and you look at this going, oh, this is quite good. Yes, Sidai is one of the best though. Okay. Look at any of Sidai's maps, pretty much any of them, and you're going to see exceptional quality on every single one of them. But yeah, if it's your first one, make sure you're subscribed. Get subscribed now, okay? The Essential Lighthouse, isn't she lovely? For those BonBonBingo players, you might want that one. Okay, up here we have got a nice looking reservoir up here in the hills. That makes sense to me. We've even got a little sunken, I was going to say village, but antiquity, and that's nice. We don't see enough of that across the map creation world. There's everybody's favourite factory. And this little dam wall here, you can see where the water would be let out, and it just makes sense. In fact, it makes all of the sense. Because if we switch the terrain lines on, you can actually see what route that water would take. You remove that, we have water running down here. I don't think we'll have a lot of water running down here, but we would. We'd have a few drowned trees, but listen, this is detailed for this to be a dry river, so I don't mind that. Little water trap down here as well, which is very nice as well. Which you have water here as well, because it'd be water runoff en route down from where we were. Fake tunnels, I don't mind those at all, but I really love this. That is exquisite. That is really lovely. I love it. Absolutely adore it. And then after that, we have some more dry river along here, which again, we switch the terrain lines on, you would see that does actually make sense too. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. As is this. Now, this is a little like a picnic area, holiday area, I guess. Make this into a national park or something. We've got lots of little fake bridges down there using the pillars from the footpaths, and little garden area going on there. What's going on in here? Let's have a look. Oh, trolleys. Of course, trolleys. Of course, trolleys. But yes, I like it. I like it a lot. And we've got a lot of these little bridges connecting all the islands together. You might want to use some invisible paths to allow you people to cross these. But I love this. I love this. Love this area. That is amazing. And then we have a few farms, classic American style circular farms. So the irrigation, sort of like the water spray in the middle and all that. Yeah, hard to describe, but yeah, for a non-layman like me, I love these. Love these. And also here as well, look at this. Curved to follow the sun throughout the day. It's a solar farm. I'm guessing this is a geothermal thing going on there. I don't know, but I like the whole thing. It feels suitably tech enough, and I'd be happy to roll with that. Very happy to roll with that. Right, one last thing to have a little follow along, and this national road here, you think, well, once again, you saw the bridges, you saw the pillar placements, and how clean and tidy all of that was. But for me, this road, this is, I mean, almost unnecessarily beautiful. Almost unnecessarily beautiful. Because you can see, it's not actually connecting up anything. And roads normally have a reason, okay? Or they were built for a reason at one point. You don't build a road for no reason at all. Or do you? I'm thinking of certain countries in the Far East. 72 lanes of nothing. More rocking and holding going on there. Very nice. But yeah, we follow this valley up. and follow it up and keep following up, we do get to a little location that I am very fond of. Very, very fond of. Got some very tight switchbacks going on there, which again we're going to need to use them to get the height. And once we're up here, we have got a little destination. We have first of all the dam, and I'm loving the water outflow on the dam. The way this has been done, you've got little flashing lights. I'm pretty sure they're the airport lights. Without checking, they're the airport lights. Yeah, yes, did I? Yeah, the vanilla ones. And then, ooh, it's a castle. Liking this castle, liking this one a lot. There's enough of it left for it to be believable, and I'm loving the way that we have got the doorways actually tucked in these. It's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We've even got a footpath coming down to the vanilla pier there, and we've got another one over here. There it is, right there. I would say yum yum. Okay, really like that little area just tucked away in the corner of the map. Makes that area come to life. Speaking of life, we've got a little bit of life in the start square. Of course we have. It's the Banco Pastor a Coruña by Armesto. Armesto, true legend. True legend. Yes, if we had him on Skylines Talk, I will try to remember to link in Skylines Talk at this point. If you want to catch up with Armesto and hear what they're all about. Really interesting geezer. And factoids, because factoids. Banco Popular Pastor S.A. was a Spanish bank, the second oldest banking institution in the country. Founded in 1776, Galician emigrants used to send their savings back to Galicia through a shipping company, hence the need to manage all of that capital. In 2011, the global financial crisis fully in effect, Banco Pastor was one of the few banks that failed the European stress test, and on October the 10th an agreement was reached for a takeover by Banco Popular, but to be continued to be run as a separate entity. So you'll still find the brand, but they're not strictly what they were once. Anyway, Banco Pastor by A Coruña by Armesto. Loving this, of course, because it's Armesto. They know how to make a thing. They really do. And Sidai knows how to make a map. But do you agree with me? Is this a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit that like button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple, or a Patreon account. Right, so another desert map that I have to rate. Not being a fan of desert maps. And they've both been really good in completely different ways. This one, it's not perfectly flat, but has plenty of flat buildable space to build into. We have got all the interesting shapes of the fertile land to help shape the city away from being a grid, unless you want to go with a grid, in which case there's no reason, because it's flat enough to do that as well. Aesthetically, it is pretty cool. It doesn't pop for me as much as some other desert maps, but it's still 4 stars. I'm going to go slightly below middle 4. Detailing is strong, just not massively sold on some of the blending of the trees at the edges. I see just a little bit more there, but other than that, really strong. I'm going to go for a high 4. Gameplay can be played in many different ways, doesn't require a huge amount of assets, won't put many people off at all. Tricky, middly high 4, yeah, and a seal of approval, good measure. Really hard to rate maps that just don't make sense to you as a person, which is me. I'm a person, and I don't really understand desert genres. Trying to. I look into them and I try to feel them. But yes, completely different playable from ilos last week, and thank goodness, because it's nice to have a real mix of different sort of maps. And if you're still here, thank goodness for that too. Use the word of the day to prove you're part of the 20 and out elite, and I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. Take care, stay well, and I'll see you very, very soon.